Hello everyone, and welcome back to the how to make a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game in Scratch tutorial. It's been a few months, but we're back. In case you didn't know, my file I originally had a video recorded for the next part, but the file got corrupted, so that's fun. So I'll just give a quick rundown on what we did. So this is what we have so far. We got warning screens. Yep, all that fun stuff. We got a new game. I'll just go to continue for now. We got a loading screen, all that fun stuff, and then here we have functioning doors and lights. I don't know why it gets a little crooked with it's okay, it's because I'm adding stuff to it. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Then we have all the cameras here. Obviously, these can be improved a lot. So, here is all we did. You just copy the cam buttons we did in the last tutorial, and then put them to where you want on the map, and then you get the coordinates right here, and you plug them in to this slot over here. So we copied the rest of these. You just do the same thing for everything, but instead you change this cam number to whatever camera it is, and the number there to whatever camera it is. And then you go into your costumes, and then you change the numbers. And for the cameras, this is all you need to do. So I'll give you a second to copy this script. Right here. This is saying just switch the costume to the camera number, so it'll forever show what camera you are on. I think we can make the static effect look way nicer. Instead of weird lines like this, I'm actually going to delete these, and I'm just going to completely remake them. So I'll be back in a minute. I made 6 costumes, and this is basically all you need to do. Just grab the square tool and then make it completely white, and then you just make a bunch of random rectangles on the screen, some skinny, some big, and then we're gonna actually remove this code here when we do when I receive cameras. So when we receive night screen, we're gonna take this script out, and we are going to repeat 6 times. We're actually going to show this first, and we're going to go to front layer. We're going to repeat 6 times. We're going to switch costume to go to operators and do pick random 1 to however many costumes you have. I have 6 costumes, so I'm going to do that. And then you just copy this and you put it in the cameras, and then it'll make the effect look way nicer. Yep, there you go. So now that we fixed that, we are going to start working on animatronics. Alright, so we're gonna paint a new sprite. We're just gonna call it whatever your character is. That's all you need. So my main character is Jeff, and I'm going to come to him. I'm either going to select the whole thing and press Control-C, or you can come up here and click copy, and it'll copy the entire sprite. Just name it to whatever, and you're just going to paste him in. I like to make sure he starts at 0, 0, just because. And then we're going to go to when the green flag is clicked, we are going to just go to 0, 0. This won't really matter, but I like to do it just in case. We're going to stop other scripts in Sprite, and we're going to go to looks, and we're going to hide. And then we made a broadcast for when the night starts called AI in time. And then we're going to set up, we're going to make a new variable. We're going to hide all these. These are just for testing purposes. You can turn on cam number, and then you can make sure all your cameras are aligned. Ignore Jeff here in the center. But you see, like, cam 3, it shows cam 3 up there. That's all you need. So make sure you do this just for testing purposes, just to be careful. Better safe than sorry. So we're just going to disable all that. We're going to create a variable. We're going to call it Jeff position. Alright, make sure it's showing for right now, but we'll have that hidden later. Just so we can play it safe, and we'll make sure everything's working properly. So we're going to do, when I receive AI in time, we're going to set Jeff position to 1. Okay? We're going to make another variable, and we're going to do for this sprite only. And we're going to do movement opportunity. I like to do it like this, just so movement's abbreviated and it's not as long. And make sure it's for this sprite only. Okay, this will make sense in a second when we actually set up the AI. We're gonna just hide that for right now. And then we are going to, when I receive AI in time, set Jeff position to 1. And we are going to go to control. We're going to do if else. We're going to grab the night number variable, go to operators, we're going to plug in if, put night number in the first bubble, and we're going to do equals if night number equals 1. Then we're going to set up the movement script here. So we're going to do, when I receive AI in time, set Jeff position to 1. If night number equals 1, then go to control, grab a repeat until with nothing in this variable slot up here, because remember, this is the same thing as a forever loop, but it makes the game less laggy, and we like to see less lag in our game. So we're going to place down the repeat until, and we're going to just duplicate this, delete this, and we're just going to put Jeff position, set Jeff position to 1 there. Then we're going to do wait. Before we do that though, make a new variable, call it character's name, so Jeff difficulty. Okay, so we are going to set Jeff position to 1, and we're going to go to control, we're going to wait. This is so that it's different every AI level or difficulty that your animatronic is. So I like to do wait around 60 seconds. You go to operators, grab the division symbol. You don't need the 60 seconds, you can just take that out. It doesn't matter, but I like to do that just in case. Okay, so we're going to put a division symbol in here, and then in this first bubble, you're going to put 60. Then in that second bubble, you're going to go down to Jeff difficulty, your character difficulty. Your character might not be Jeff, who knows. 60 divided by character difficulty seconds. So let's just just for testing purposes, we're going to set Jeff difficulty to 1. So we're going to wait. If Jeff difficulty equals 1, he's going to wait 60 seconds before having a movement opportunity. Let's say he's 10. He's going to wait 6 seconds before having a movement opportunity. 15. He's going to wait 4 seconds. 20. 20 is going to wait 3 seconds. 3. He's going to wait 20 seconds. And if he's set to 0 or turned off, he's going to wait infinity seconds, which means he will never be able to move. So we're going to plug this in here, wait 60 divided by, you don't have to do 60, you can tweak this number however you want, but I like to do it like this, or you can just do a solid wait, but I like to do it like this just to make every AI level feel different. Because like, since we're going to be doing like random numbers, 19 wouldn't be too different from 20. But if you do it like that, they'll wait slightly longer if the AI is lower than 20. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, just leave a comment and I'll help you if you don't understand. So we're going to wait number divided by character difficulty seconds. Make sure this character difficulty is equal. Make sure it's the same as the character AI you're working on. So I'm working on Jeff right here. So Jeff difficulty 60 divided by Jeff difficulty seconds. And we are going to set, come over to variables, grab a set. We're going to set movement opportunity to, going to go to operators to get a pick random 1 to 20. This will make sense in a second. But make sure, before you do this, go to control, grab if, just not an if else, just an if, and grab an operator, grab an equal sign, and in the second bubble, we're going to put 1, go to variables, and in this first bubble, put Jeff position, slide that under the set Jeff position to 1. So this is what it should look like. If night equals 1, then repeat until, set it to 1, and then if Jeff position equals 1, then it'll do these scripts down here. And then this is what it should look like. So set movement opportunity, and again, movement opportunity, you can right click the variable here and you can rename or edit. Make sure it's set to for this sprite only. This is show, this is so. This is because we only need it in the sprite, and if it's with every other sprite, it would just take up unnecessary space. Make sure it's for this sprite only. And then we're gonna go to control, and we're gonna grab another if. And we're gonna, in this variable bubble, we're going to go to operators, grab the less than operator, and the equal to operator, and the or. And we're gonna plug these in here like this. We're gonna delete the second bubbles. Then we're gonna go to variables, grab Jeff difficulty, put Jeff difficulty in both the second bubbles, and then in this first one, grab movement opportunity. So what this does is, this is how it's used in the actual FNaF games. If the movement opportunity, right here, since it'll pick a random number from 1 to 20, if it's less than or equal to the character's difficulty, then they'll move. So if the character's difficulty is 1, it's rarely ever equal to 1. It's never less than, since it can't go to 0, but it's rarely equal to 1, so the character will barely move. But if the character is 20, if the difficulty is 20, since 20 is the max number we set here, they will always have a number less than or equal to their difficulty, so they will always move. You can tweak this a little bit to say like 20, 25 or something, so that they won't always have a movement opportunity when they're 20, but I like to do it like this. And we're going to do if movement opportunity is less than or equal to character difficulty. Again, make sure it's the same character, the difficulty is the same one that you're working on. We're going to go to change, not set, change character position by 1. That's all. And you're just going to copy this every time. So we're going to copy the if Jeff position equals 1 script, and it'll give you the whole thing. And all you need to do is change the 1 up here to 2. You can change the timing a little bit, but I usually don't choose to. And then slide it right under here. Make sure they're all inside the repeat until bubble. You can actually drag it out, which is what I'm going to do just to be safe. Make sure every time that's under the if script, and it's not inside of it, otherwise the whole thing will break. So I'm going to see how much positions my character's gonna have. So he's gonna start at the stage, so that's 1. He's gonna go to the dining room, which is 2. He's gonna go to the bathrooms, which is 3. Kitchen doesn't have a camera. He's gonna go to backstage, which is 4. And he's gonna go to the left hall, which is 5. So that's 5 movements. So we're just going to copy this 5 times. So 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so once we get to however many movements, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movements that Jeff will take, and then after this, we're going to grab, make sure this still says change character position by 1. So if Jeff position equals 6, I'm doing this since 5 plus 1 equals 6. 6 is going to be at the door. So I'm actually going to make a comment. I recommend you do that too, just so you can keep track of what's going on. Position 6 equals at door. Okay? And we're going to change this up a little bit. We're going to do if Jeff position equals 6, then we're going to get rid of this division, and we're just going to do... no, you actually don't need to do that. Get rid of the movement opportunity. We're not going to set a movement opportunity. And we're just going to keep that division symbol in. Go to Control, grab an if-else, go to my variables. I have him. He's going to go to the left door, so we're going to do if the left door open closed equals closed. See? If it's closed, then we are going to set his position, Jeff position, back to 1. I might also add sound cues, which I'm actually going to do. So I'm going to go to sounds, delete the pop. I'm going to go to the normal sounds. I like the footsteps sound effects that Scratch has built in. So I'm going to get this, and I'm going to shorten it a little bit. I'm going to shorten it. I'm going to make it quieter. And then I'm actually going to put this inside of the change positions by 1. So it sounds like he's actually walking around the location, which it's also helpful to add sound cues into your game so it doesn't sound completely silent. And you're going to do if the door they go to is closed, then set their position to 1. Start sound, footsteps. You can also do like a knocking sound, so like they're knocking on the door. I might do that later. And then in this else, we're going to make a new variable, and we're going to call it who jump scared. Make sure it's for all sprites. Who jump scared. We're going to set who jump scared to whoever your character is, so Jeff in my case. And we're going to go to Control. We're going to broadcast jump scare. Make that a new message. And that's his script done. That's literally it. I'm actually not going to have Jeff move on night 1 or night 2. So I'm just going to do when I receive night 1 forever, night 1 or night 2, he's not going to move. So also if night equals 1, then always repeat until forever. Set it to 1, else get rid of that. If night equals 2, put that in the else, set it to 1. Copy it again, put it in the else. If night equals 3, however, we will get the script over here, the whole thing, put it in the repeat until. 3, you actually don't need to do it like this. That's actually not a great way to do it. A better way to do it is actually just take everything out of the else. Do if, go to operators, not night equals 1, grab an or, put the night in the night 1 in the first bubble, put night 2, night equals 2 in the second, okay, and then you put that in the not operator, and you put that in the if else. If it is not night 1 or night 2, then we're going to run the script here. Not the night 3, not this script. Make sure you take this out of that. If it is not night 1 or night 2, it's going to do this. However, else, it's going to always set it to 1. So if not night 1 or 2, then we're going to run the script. If it is night 1 or 2, then it's just going to forever set it to 1. So if you want a character to not move until a specific night, this is how you do it. And just whatever nights, if you want to make more nights, let's say activate on night 4, you can just copy this ore and put it inside of the second. So now there's 3 ores. If it's not night 1, 2, or 3, you can do that. I'm going to do night 1 or 2 since I want Jeff to start moving on night 3. And just grab the repeat until and put it in there. That's done. That's Jeff's, your character's AI.
Hey, quick editors. Now, in your movement script here, I'm testing out the movement just to double check that it works, so I didn't just make an entire tutorial for nothing. In this repeat until, you actually want to take out the set Jeff position to 1. So you just drag the script out and then just separate them, throw that in there, and then throw this back into this repeat until. Because if you keep that there, he'll go back to the stage if he fails a movement opportunity, and that's not what we want. So yeah, just quick editor's note, and have a great night.
That's it. It's not that hard. So what you can do, now what we're going to do, is we're going to set up Jeff going through the cameras. So I'm going to go to my costumes and I'm going to show him. I'm going to go to events. When I receive cameras, then we're going to go to control repeat until. We're going to go to sensing, grab this backdrop of stage block right here, click stage, go into your cameras, so like your camera rooms, cameras right here, since they pan back and forth. If your cameras don't pan back and forth, you don't have to do this, but if they do, make sure you're copying this, so he'll pan with the cameras. Go to backdrop of stage and find your camera sprite here, and it should automatically turn this into X position. If it doesn't, it's right at the top. And then you're going to go to motion, set X to, drag that inside, repeat until set X to position of cameras, and then he'll pan with the cameras, which is what we want. So now we can go in here. I'm going to rename this costume to stage and design him on your stage. So when he's on the stage, here, I might actually wait for this to pan a little bit more, like this. So when he's on the stage, I'm gonna have him a little smaller. I'm probably just gonna delete this eye because I'll copy and paste it back. I'll make it look like his eyes are closed. That looks funny. And then when he goes to camera 2, I'm going to design how he looks in cam 2. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to copy his sprite. Go down here. Dining room. And I'm going to design how he looks in the dining room. Make sure they look different in every camera, just so it looks visually appealing. So that's how he looks there. And then I'm going to have him go to the backstage. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to go do backstage, and then design how he looks when he's on the backstage camera. I'm actually going to have him a little bit bigger here in this bottom corner. And then into the left hall. Here. I'm actually going to flip him horizontally here. Then I'm going to actually copy him. I'm going to group this one, and I'm going to make the entire thing black. Make sure there's no outline on it, just so it looks like a shadow. And then you can looks more realistic. And then you can add that. And that's it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get, when I receive AI in time, control repeat until, I'm going to get an if else. Go to operators, get and, I'm going to get 3 ands. We're going to get the 𝒂𝒄𝒓 position variable, camera state variable, and the camera number variable. And go to operators and get 3 equals for each of them and plug them into the and operators here. Get camera state, camera number, and 𝒂𝒄𝒓 position. This is where it's going to get a little bit complicated, so follow along carefully. We're going to get if camera state equals, if you don't know, look at your variables, you look at your cam-up variable. So we want to set it to 2, since 2 is our up state. If camera state equals 2 or up, and the cam number equals 1, since this is going to be him on the stage, and the 𝒂𝒄 position equals 1. So what this is saying is if the camera is open, which it is, and the camera number is 1, which it is, and 𝒂𝒄 position is 1, and which it is, he will show on the stage. So we're going to get a switch costume to the camera, so stage, and we're going to throw in a show right here. That's it. And then you just copy this for every camera. So duplicate this. If camera state equals up, which is 2, but the camera number equals 2, and 𝒂𝒄 position equals 2, then set it to the camera. Copy that again. If camera state equals 2, if the camera is 3 and 𝒂𝒄 position's 3, then set it to backstage. This is camera 6. Duplicate if camera state equals up or 2 and the camera number equals 6 and 𝒂𝒄 position equals 4, then set it to the left hull. And then in this last else, just throw in a hide. So look, now he's at the stage and he's not going to be anywhere else. If we go to variables and we set 𝒂𝒄 position to 4, he won't be on the stage, he won't be in these cameras, but he'll be in the left hull. 3, he'll be backstage, nowhere else. 2, he'll be in the dining room, nowhere else. 1, back on the stage, obviously. So make sure camera state is 2 for all of them, since we need to see if the camera's up. And if whatever camera you want them to appear on, so camera 1 is this, and their position when they go into that camera. So his position when he's on the stage will be 1, and then you do switch costume to whatever camera you're on, and then show. And then you put that in the else with everything, and in this last else you just throw in a hide. And that's the entire character script done. That's it. And then look, he'll hide when the cameras go down. Yeah, that's it. And that's all for this episode. Next episode, we will continue the AI, and then we will do some other things. I don't know what we're going to do quite yet, but I do know next episode we will continue the animatronic AI. We'll just copy and paste this sprite. We'll just duplicate the sprite and tweak it a little bit for every other characters except the Foxy character who runs down the hallway. I'll show you how to do that as well. And then we might add a power system, more sound effects. I don't know. Basic FNaF stuff. But yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.